Just Eric wanted to get a sense of what you really thought about the experience at the museum today.
Oh boy, I think there's a lot that I don't know, to be honest with you. And growing up in white suburban America in the school system, there's a lot that I was told, and there's a lot that was really left out. And so I think today was an eye-opening experience for me. Cliff, what did you think about the museum?
Well, the total range of emotions. My emotions have been all over the place. Anger, sadness, tears, a lot of different emotions, but truly trying to understand where we have come from as African American and as a country. And trying to get a good grasp around that, but trying to be able to see a better way forward and knowing how we can do things better together. I think a lot of the things that we're dealing with today is the fact that there are a lot of people that are talking, not a lot of people are listening. And that's part of the challenges. And I think that's one thing here with the museum is that you get a chance to really truly hear stories, you get a chance to read about them, learn, and be able to understand what people have gone through. And usually once we listen to each other, it gives you a better perspective of being able to understand how you can move forward or even if you can come together. A lot of times we talk about racial reconciliation, but I always say, hey, let's focus on racial unity because we can't reconcile until we've first been united.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the things I noticed is how fresh the wounds still are from the civil rights era. And, you know, there's been a continuous stream of racism and injustice, and that stream hasn't stopped to this day. It feels like it does. You know, in the 90s, growing up as a teenager, I thought things were fine, and you know, and now all of a sudden things aren't fine, and so I'm a little bewildered at first. But as I talk to friends like Cliff and ask hard questions that maybe I don't want to hear the answer to, or maybe he doesn't want to address with me because we can't find a safe place all the time. But when you find a safe place to discuss that, you realize, oh, hey, you know, it was Cliff's dad that experienced things that I've only read about in history books, and so it's really fresh for him, and he's my friend, and so it needs to be really fresh for me. This sparking questions in my head and opening my eyes to things that I didn't realize before makes me ask other questions about other people groups and other races and people who weren't raised in the country that I was raised in and the context that I was raised in, and want to see, hey, where are they coming from? What's their life like? What's their history like? What's their culture really like? And when I see things from their perspective, I can understand what makes them tick. And it's not, just because it's different from me doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just something that's different.
From my perspective, I don't have anything to add. I think he knocked it out of the park. I think he did a good job.
That's great.